Right, good morning. It's Friday. It's the 20 something of January. Pressure's on. Got a few things that are going on in the next couple of weeks. I've got Daz coming in on the 13th, 14th of February to come and do some slabbing. And I'll show you that bit in a minute. And then I've got Rob, who you've seen before on previous videos, to come and do some fiberglassing on two ponds that haven't been built yet in the greenhouse. And I've got to get the seating area finished and completed, because obviously that at the moment is doing my head in because of all the little tiny silly things. It's the little things now that you're checking all the time, which is getting a bit frustrating, to be fair. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where we are at the moment, and what I've got to try and get done in the next, well, I've got to get it done this weekend basically, and then I've got to do bits and pieces next week when I'm on morning, so I can get things finished. So you can see roofing's on, still got to get that bit done over there. So I'll quickly show you where we are at the moment. He's still a mess, so bear with it. So as you can see, GRP's on, got it right down the bottom now, so I'll show you that. I'll just come backwards. So as you can see now, GRP is in that section there as well. So if you remember, I had to put that post in, and that's the access to the back of the pond. So GRP, GRP and GRP. What I've done as well is I've blocked it all in at the top. So, and what I've done, I've actually done it in such a way that I've made no waste at all. So any offcuts, as you can see, any offcuts have been cut, they've been joined together, and then they've been created to make a new one. And all this basically, that water's there is actually coming off the condensation off the roof, so that's actually doing its job. So as you can see, every single one of them, even down to that one, look, they've been short, so which are the offcuts from the lengths of the roofing structure, and then I've cut a bit off, coupled them together, and I've utilised them on there as well. So that's what I've done there, look. So as you can see, it ain't that bad. As promised, got a piece of twin wall on there as well, look, so that's done as well. With a nice tidy frame on the back. I'll show you that as well. Just twist it round. So as you can see, there's a nice tidy frame round on there. And I put an electric socket around there somewhere. That is actually the back of the seating. So what it is the pallets have been turned round. That's been done on there. As you can see, this is carnage at the moment, but I'll show you what's going to happen on there. Top of the roofing structure, that's got to be cut across there. That's got to be done. What I've also done is, there's one gone on the front, look. So there's a front trim gone on. That side is going to be twin wall. The reason for that is when you're sitting, when we've got all the cushions and everything in there, and we're sitting over here, that'll actually be clear as well, so that'll make that hopefully aesthetically pleasing. I'll put that in, and if it don't work, I'll take it out, but I'll put a wooden trimming in there. So that's got to be done. All the little tiny nooks and crannies, so that's got to be extended out as well. And hopefully I'll get that done today. That's that trim there, look. So that's that done. That's some offcuts of the fiberglass that we've used for over there. And then what else? So, got Dazza coming in, like I said, on the 13th. So I'll try and give you a visualisation so you can see. So as you can see, it's virtually complete now, this part here. That's coming out. So that'll be recycled and used further down the line. Across here, all the way up, so 26 square metres, Dazza's going to slab all that for me. Two reasons why I want it slabbing. One, because obviously you can see the mess we've created walking in and off all the way through the winter, so we can get into there. So that's why I want all that slabbing. Obviously then that area over there can be utilised, and as you can see the greenhouse has gone and all the other bits and pieces. So that area there can be reutilised, and then that bench there, which has some history for us, for me and Teresa, that's going to be kept. that'll be utilised either inside or outside. The two nesting boxes, if you remember, there was one up there and there was one up the other side, so one of those will be put up the top in that corner somewhere, and then the other one, hopefully when I've got this done, I can have it up here somewhere, so I'm going to get that done as well. So like I said, so Daz is going to come in and we're going to run a line from that edge all the way across, all the way up, and fill up all that area. That's what we're going to do with slabbing. Obviously that, hopefully then, once all the slabbing's done, that'll have a new home around here somewhere. I want to keep an area here, so in the event of having, not that I ain't got enough ponds, but in the event of having a spawn or anything like that, and I've got nowhere to stick anything, then obviously I can then stick a swimming pool in there, or stick a swimming pool over there, or I can even use the fiberglass backup that I've got down the bottom that I can get in there and I can utilise it. As you can see, all that piping's been connected up down there. So as you can see, that's been connected, and that goes all the way down the garden. So that has got 12mm holes in, and obviously that's been modified. As you see, she started to get her little friends out. What I've done is I've left this now for Teresa to do, so she can then do whatever she wants to do with it. That section there is movable, so it can be adjusted, drop down, and once that's done, then I'll solvent weld that in place, so that's finished as well. So that's that. So let's have a quick look in the greenhouse. Right, as you can see, it's looking reasonably in here now. Those have been cutting off and Davey's going to be taken. As you can see, there's some metal gridding there. I've got some more metal gridding down the bottom of the garden. There's a sump that's got to go in there, and there's a sump that's got to go in that one as well. And that'll be big enough to put a retrofit bottom drain in both of those. I'm still toying with the idea of maybe making this a bit bigger. I don't know, and it's probably doing people's head in, and I do apologise. But it'll be easier for me to then just add some piece of 4x4 on the back of there, bring it in, and then hopefully I can make that 1.2 by 1.2 by 8 metre by 8 foot by 8 foot. So 2.4, 1.2, 2.4, 1.2, and just make that one square. This one is going to be more difficult, for the simple reason is the further out I bring that, the less gap I've got here. So if I do decide to bring this out to 2.4 metres, I can by putting another frame on there. I just think it's going to be, this gap's going to be too tight. Well, I'll have a look and see what I get on. Like I said, digging the sump in there is not going to make any difference with making that any bigger. So I've got to do that. Some additional twin wall. Teresa's come up with an idea now. So she wants some twin wall to go in here. A twin wall will go around here, so it'll create a greenhouse inside a greenhouse. So that's got to be done as well. Also got some shout outs. So first shout out is to Scrag68. So he's a new subscriber to the channel. He's got approximately 6 subscribers. So pass by to Scrag68. Fair play to him. I was on afternoons. Tracy turned around and said there's a bloke that's just turned up in a white van. She says, this Mad Dog's place. Here's the cup. And it's like, fantastic. Really well. So Scrag68. So it's pronounced, well, I'll show you the video. I'll show you the So Scrag68. So obviously that's it. And I've added an additional one as well, as promised, from Skeggy's Pond Supplies. So Skeggy's Pond Supplies is there. Black Country Dave, Seaver's Pond, Scrag68, Telford Koi Pond, keep calm and keep cool. So that's where we are at the moment. So things are coming on. Like I said, busy. Once we've got these bits and pieces done, hopefully, touch wood, I'll be able to get as much done as I possibly can, because I need to have Dazza in doing the slabbing while I'm doing nothing else. So I can't be working in the greenhouse while he's doing the slabbing. And then I've got, once that's done, I've got to get the concrete in for the bottom of the, I'll show you around. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a sump, and then I'm going to fill the sump full of concrete. That'll be the first thing. Obviously there'll be a metal grid frame that goes inside. I'm then going to build a frame. The frame will go on the inside, and then I'll fill the outside with concrete, and then I'll fill it flush with this wood. That's why I've used 4x4, because then I can use that. But what I'll do is, where that's 4x4, the frame inside will be 2x2. So I'll have a 2-inch drop off from that side to the centre. So everything, all sides will drop in. That's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the same with this one. Obviously make that a bit bigger. So I've got that. I've also, so there's 2 ton of MOT that's been ordered, which is, for anybody that doesn't know, MOT is like roadstone stuff, and that's been ordered obviously for the slabbing. So that's been ordered. There's 2 ton of sharp sand as well that's been ordered. I've also ordered some 1/8 ply, which is flexi ply. Got an experiment with that, so obviously I bought that, and then if that experiment works I'll actually show you that. I'll show you that as I'm doing it, if it works. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff to get on with at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll catch back to you later. Okay, so while we're doing everything else, quick review on the lumberjack table saw. So some twin walls got to be cut up, and some other bits and pieces. What I want to do is show you the initial bits and pieces on it. It's a 285mm blade. Obviously then it's got the splitter. I've taken the cover off. I've done that for a reason for me. So please, 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 it's recommended that whenever you use any tools like this in any shape or form, guard must be on there, and that's to ensure that it gets, you are protected. So very, very good design. So as you can see under there, it has the up and down for the blade. So if you watch, blade goes up and blade goes down. So really good on that. On here is a little tiny switch. You pull that out and the blade changes for your different angles. So under there it goes up, look, 45 down to 0. So for the benefit of this, I'm just going to make that on 0. It's a very, very very simple lockout system there. It's located there, look. Very, very simple. There's also a very, very simple lockout system here. So you just pull that, and what that does, it allows the table to actually become longer. So it'll take it up to a 900mm table. Absolutely fantastic for doing things like cutting twin wall, cutting fiberglass roofing sheets, timber, cutting the lot, depending on what size you want. So, and that's pretty good. So, and really, really simple to use. I like this and the design of that, and that's absolutely fantastic. If you can see, it's dirty, it's been used quite a bit. The reason why I like that is I've seen loads of plastic ones of them, and I've snapped to them, and I've made a right mess of them in the past. This is literally, it's got all your dials on there, look, so just bear with me a second. So as you can see, it's got all your dials on there for everything else, so it gives you your accurate measurements, which is really good. And then obviously each piece then has got slats in for doing your angle pieces. The angle pieces, obviously they're floating around, I'll get those out later. A couple of other fantastic little features is these knobs. When you look at these knobs, you can pull them out and you can twist them to the side. So literally it shows you that you've got the radius on that side. And there's a reason for that, and I'll show you that in a minute. And obviously you can do the same on the other side as well. It's got extractor system over there, which is really good as well. Obviously you can see I'm still making a mess, but there's nothing there. And then you've got a tidy little connection in there. Now, this you don't see very often, and that is, it comes with wheels. Okay, absolutely fantastic idea. So obviously what happens is you can undo these individually, drop this end down, and then put this on the wheels, and then that side, instead of going down, you can actually bring it up and turn it into a handle. Absolutely brilliant. What I'll try and do now is just bear with me for a second. I'll set this up and I will try my hardest to show you what I mean. So just bear with me a second. So, really simple. As you can see, I've got this side, I've got the catches out on this side. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to uncatch this one, take it round, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift that end up. Just bear with me a second. I'm going to lift this end up. That wasn't supposed to happen. And then I can drop that down, so I can physically drop this down on its wheels. I didn't lock that out, that's why. So, bear with me a second. I'll put it back in a second. So this side, again, I've got the lockouts on that side. I can now adjust this one by pulling this one out and twisting it, like that. I can then put this one up here, like in that position there, lock that back down, and I can wheel it away. So the reason why that's designed for it like that is basically so you can take it on site. So that is a really good feature, which I do like. Inside you can see it's quite simple in there. So there's nothing difficult, there's nothing complicated in there. Does exactly what it says on the tin. And obviously you've got an area there for sticking in your pusher or longer thingy, whatever you want to call it. I've got names for everything, so I just make names up as I'm going along, quite simpler. Makes it easier for me. Now, question is, how good is it at cutting? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 pieces of wood. I'm going to set it back up in a minute. One is going to be a piece of 6x2 that I'm going to be cutting straight. The next one I'm going to cut at an angle using the angle tools. Again, I'm not going to have the safety cover on it for this, but it is important that you do have it on. I'm doing it for the benefit of me, and there's a lot of people now. I just get on and do stuff, but obviously I am always safe in what I do and how I do it. So what I'll do is I'll set up the bits and pieces now so you can see it, and I'll be back in a second. So, quick test now to see if I can do cutting a strip off. So, I'll switch it on. So, quick test now to do a rip. So what I've done is I've set that up at 2 inches, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to rip a length down, see if it works. I'm also going to use my centre section, so let's start off with the dinner. can see, the motor switches really quickly off, which is a fantastic feature. And as you can see, that's cut nice and easy, so I'm happy with that. Next test now is I want to test the angle section. So I want to see if it'll cut an angle. So this is the angle section here. That's what that's designed for doing. So I'm going to set it at 40 degrees. As simply as unscrewing it, setting it up, and then it fits on the slide here, so it does it like that. So, and then basically what you do is you put the piece of wood against it, and then you run it along, and it's as simple as that. It does exactly what it says on the tin. So, I want to put an angle on it, so I'm going to use the same piece of wood that I've just used. And again, I'm going to do exactly the same. Against the side. Again, absolutely fantastic, so that's done that job really well as well. And you can see there's no bearing, there's a little tiny bit on that side. Obviously, bearing in mind that is a 2-inch piece of wood and that just cuts straight through there. I like the feature on it where the fact it cuts off immediately straight away. There's no messing about and it does exactly what it says on the tin, so I'm really happy with that. Built in, this is a 1500 motor, so where you look at the lumberjack saw, that's got a 2000 motor. It's got plenty of power in it. So those are all the positives. The negatives, I bought the wrong one. So originally what I wanted it to be able to cut 4-inch. And to be fair, the maximum I can set this up to that's a piece of 2-inch. That's a piece of 2-inch. So it'll cut 3-inch quite easily. I'll just get you a piece of 3-inch so you can see it. So that's a piece of 3-inch. So you can see it'll cut through the 3-inch really easy. It'll also, in theory, cut it at an angle. So that's the downside, and that's my fault. That's no issues around the project itself, the product itself. It's just the fact that I messed it up when I bought it. I obviously bought the wrong one, which is fine, it is what it is. Also, you can not only cut it that way and that way, but also with that being dropped down, I can actually cut it across there as well. So I'm going to use some similar things like that be for doing corner trims and stuff like that, which we'll be probably doing later. So what I'm going to show you now, I'm going to show you cutting a 4-metre piece of twin wall at 16 inches so I can finish it off on the front face of the seating area. So we'll have a look at that now.
You got this one?
Yep, that's the piece we need. That's absolutely sweet. So that's just very quickly showing you how that's cut through a piece of 4-metre twin wall in one go. So happy with that so far. Okay, I'm in a little bit of trouble. I'll sort of, well, just to casually explain it as you did. So the AstroTurf that I've put down in the seating area was a bit dirty. So Which was his bad books because we used to hoover the AstroTurf and take it down to, well, in my defence, I tried the lumberjack extractor, okay, and it sucked the AstroTurf up, so I'll just stop that. So, just a nice one is, if you buy a lumberjack extractor, don't try to hoover AstroTurf with it because it don't work, okay, but I'll show you some of the bits and pieces in a bit before I, well, listen, in the event that you don't hear from me in the not too distant future, can you call International Rescue because I might be in trouble. I'll catch you in a bit. Okay, good afternoon. I'll just take you through the bits and pieces that I've got done today. Today is Sunday the 29th. So just show you what's been finished and how it's been done. As you can see up there now, all that's twin wall up across there to give you a nice finish to it. Again, this has been blanked off, and again, just to make it easier, as you can see, there's the join in place there now, and that's been done in such a way where that will just loop out, so that's really good. All the AstroTurf now is down. Seating's all in as well. Obviously I've been in trouble because obviously you've seen parts of the video I used Tracer's Hoover and shouldn't have done, which didn't really go down too well. I'm going to show you what's going on up here. You can see concrete in, everything else is here as well. That's going on. So where are we? So, to be fair, made some decent progress, to be fair. It is a bit of a car crash in here, so just bear with me a bit. So, sump was dug, that went down 4 inches, and then that's been concreted, and that's nice and done now. Same on this one. So again, that's a concrete pad that's on there now. Now obviously what will happen now is a 20 by 20 by 20 by 20 frame will go in there, and it'll be 2 inches high, and obviously that is 4 inches, so it'll be locked into place, and then obviously this will now be full of concrete and it will have a 2-inch drop on. Same on that one will be exactly the same. It's actually quite deceiving because from there it actually looks quite small, and it isn't. Believe it or not, it's 8 foot, 8 foot, 6 foot, 8 foot. So again, that's a 24-inch pad, but again that'll be done at 20 all the way around with the frame, and again that'll be filled full of concrete, so that'll be that done as well. Like I say, you can see it's a bit of a car crash. Also, you can see I picked up some fish from Rob. Absolutely fantastic fish. A couple of key series in there, absolutely beautiful colouring on them. So you can see those in there, and I've got the most sexiest platinum ogon. You can see it's quite excited at the moment. There's a platinum ogon in there. So obviously, and that is absolutely fantastic as well. Not happy that it's in a bag, but at the end of the day, it's got to be climatised. It's got to tolerate it. Currently, temperature in there is 6, and in there is 9. Yeah, so it's 9, so it's got to come down another 3 degrees. So that's where we are with that. I'm going to show you the front of the seating area now as well. The reason why I want to show you that is because you can see how we finished that off. There's still a little bit of work got to be done to it. When I say a little bit, it is just a little bit. That's all that's got to be done to it. I've got to get the plunge saw in place so I can cut the front face off. Just so you can see there, I'll just flip you around. So as you can see now, that trim wall there is going to have to be cut off at an angle all the way across, so you've got the overhang. And as you can see, we've got the overhang on the front of that, which is what I wanted as well. So again, nice and tidy. And if you look over there, I mean, you can see that that's turned out absolutely brilliant for what it is. Obviously the boxes are what the fish have just come in. Water started to get a bit clearer as well in there, but we'll show you that next. So obviously Obviously there's concreting going to be taking place now and some other bits and pieces over the next couple of weeks. And it's the silly little things now that's going to be taking all the time. So I don't think I'll be putting a video out next week. Also, if you notice at the start of this, you'll hear me turn around and say that the pressure was on, and actually it is. I'll explain why. I've got Evolution Aqua coming over in March, first week in March, coming over to do some filming and whatever else. I said I'd have it finished, and that's why the pressure's on. So, you know, I want to give a massive shout out to Rob Walker. The simple reason is Evolution Aqua was looking for some videoing, and Rob turned around and said, we've got a mad geezer that's got some really crazy stuff going on at his place. He's got a YouTube channel, go and have a look at it. That's how he started. So Georgia contacted me from Evolution Aqua. She did watch a few of the videos that I've already previously put out. I said, yeah, we want to come down and have a look and do some filming. Will you be ready? And I went, yeah. Yeah, sort of. So that's where we are at the moment. So, okay, I'm going to leave it at that. I know some of it's a bit boring and I do apologise for that, but obviously it's the content that people are asking for, and I ain't got a problem with that. I've had a couple of people ask me as well why I've got such a big gap in between the two frames, or two ponds of them in there. And to be fair, the reason why I've put a 5 foot gap in between the two of them, and what I want to try and do is I want to try and keep all 3 ponds completely separate from each other. Plus I'll have the one that's in the garage will be totally enclosed with one way in and one way out. So that'll be quarantine for down there, or wherever else you want to call it. I'll still call it a quarantine tank. But with the 5 foot gap between each one, and then obviously each one will have its own individual nets and socks and everything else, and even their own buckets will be in there as well. They'll all be separate. Like I said, I'm trying to learn from the mistakes I made last time round. I'm still going to make mistakes, like everybody. But yeah, just keep smiling, that's all we can do. So, and just keep plodding on. So again, I hope you've enjoyed it. So, be safe. Catch you on the next one. Absolutely stunning.
Mint.
Who's the breeder?
Choggeroo.
Choggeroo.
Yeah.
It's virtually nuclear, isn't it?
He's famous in Japan for his platinum ogons.
Is he?
Yeah.